Welcome to the buymeacoffee.com/James Poetry, the coffee tips page that supports my James Poetry creative productions and work. See also jamespoetry.online.
Hello, perceptive readers. You know what I was meditating on today? Well, one of my meditations, it happened to be about the city of Nineveh. Nineveh during the days of Jonah. Have you heard the story of Jonah and the whale or Jonah and the big fish? Either way, you see, he was given a commission to go and preach to that city of Nineveh. And actually, his preaching work involved condemnation. It involved God's judgment against that city. So, what goes through your mind when the Bible tells us clearly that God's judgment was that he was going to destroy that city? Let me ask you this question. Why would God, whose personal name is Jehovah, actually decide to destroy a city of over 120,000 inhabitants? What thoughts run through your mind? Does evil run through your mind? Does wickedness run through your mind? Because why else would Jehovah, out of all those other lands, pick out that he was going to destroy that city? And you know his judgments are righteous. So it meant that the town, the city, was wicked. Now, you can look where it's located at today, okay, in that area of the world. Now, just think about this, though. What I want to bring out is, first, let me ask you this question. Did he destroy the city? No. See, after Jonah preached and told them that God was going to destroy the city because of their wickedness, they actually started mourning and crying, you see, walking around sad and sackcloth and things of that nature. Now, the reason why I'm actually bringing that out is to show you something. Now, some people, will notice that it brings out God's mercy. See, it does. One of the things in my meditation today, it showed me was this as well. If God would withhold his judgment upon a city that's wicked and evil and deservedly so should be destroyed, or he was perfectly in his judicial right and balance, perfect justice to back then destroy that city, you see, in his perfect judgment against wickedness, and yet he didn't. What else does that show us about God's mercy? See, it's something to think about, and this is what I was thinking about. It's just a thought that the people were wicked. Now, even though they responded to Jonah's, a condemnation of judgment that they were going to be destroyed, you and I both know that really, what was really shown was it didn't last. That repentance didn't last, and God would know that it didn't last. But yet, at that time, He still responded to their actions. You see, their show of repentance or remorsefulness at that time. And so the whole point of what I'm bringing out that I was just meditating on is that even today, see, and this is one of the reasons why I mentioned how persons don't really, I use the expression lose sleep over somebody doing something bad, you know, whether they're sincere in their own repentance of what they might have done to you or not. God knows the situation. And so the whole point is we don't have to go out our way to try and make somebody who's even doing bad to do right. Let me make this clear. The whole point is that doesn't mean we have to allow them to sit up there and beat up on us. But what I am saying to actually, you see, go after a person at times, trying to force them to accept this teaching or that teaching or what have you, and they're not even doing nothing to you. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to. You don't have to do that. Um, and remember, I'm talking in a civilized way here. Uh, But my point that I still really wanted to focus back in on is this, that God was certainly right in his judgment against that wicked city of Nineveh to destroy them. And yet he didn't. And it's interesting as well because, see, Jonah, as an imperfect man, he still actually got upset because God wouldn't destroy that town or city. So what else does that show you? Remember I told you before, human beings will judge matters and will even condemn others. Other individuals and stuff like that at times that even God hasn't condemned. And remember I told you that's one of the worst things a person can do is to condemn somebody who God hasn't. And so you can really look at again Nineveh and how wicked that city was, over 120,000 people. And for God to say, you see, no, I'm going to destroy that wicked city. And yet he didn't. And then you got an imperfect man like Jonah that if he had his way, his judgment, he still would have did it. But Jehovah God didn't do it. Does that show you or have you meditate on certain situations that we have even today? Just something to think about. Take care.